Well, Sam, I barely made it into the show today because my Magic Mouse was dead. You know, this piece of shit that I hate. It was dead, and so I had it plugged in. Upside down, rendering the mouse unusable. So I'm really glad. I'm excited for the new one. I'm excited for my iMac to come in because I won't have that problem with the new mouse.
Really?
No, they didn't fix the mouse.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah,
It's the
it's been a couple years with that design, and probably hasn't aged well. Probably should have been changed like the second year or the third year or the fourth year, but instead we now have it in colors.
I mean, I don't
So
know where they would put it. I don't know where they would put the. I guess that's the only place to put it, unless they put no, to the side maybe. I just want it to be different. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Welcome to Genius Bar,
Yeah.
episode 13. This episode is sponsored by Magic Spoon and Manscaped.
Magic Spoon and Manscaped. Let's go, guys.
Sam,
Yeah.
you wrecked your car. I wanted to bring that up. You wrecked your car, and I thought that I
God.
thought I needed to start. I just wanted to start the episode. Break the ice, because I couldn't casually wait until the middle of the episode or the end to be like, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot you wrecked your car. I found out from Twitter. All right, we're supposed to be friends. We got a show together. We make money together. I thought that maybe that would earn me a text or something. But no, I found out on Twitter, Sam. I found out that you wrecked your car on Twitter. How are you? Is your car dead? Are you dead?
I am financially dead, but I am physically alive and well. And it was a very fun little Monday night surprise. That's what I like to call it.
What happened?
Dude, I'm such an idiot.
What happened?
I haven't talked about this at
Timothy?
all except to my close friends, just because
Except me. I guess I'm not a close friend.
Let me
No,
finish
no.
my damn sentence,
No.
John, because I
Okay.
haven't seen you in person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Look at me. I'm looking at my face in the preview. I'm like, I've told my close friends that I saw that were like, we also saw it on Twitter. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make my life an open book. This will be an interesting tweet. And why not monetize my accident? So I was just coming back from my parents' house. We had a wonderful dinner.
Mhm.
And I decided that my friend was going to FaceTime me and
Wait, what?
that I would use the autopilot functionality on my car. And as you know, summers is when they love to do construction.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went on, it was Highway 55 in St. Louis, going southbound, it was fine. There's no construction. Then going north, obviously different side of the highway, and it was popping up in the leftmost two most. Did I
Try
just
again?
seize?
You wanna
This is
try
just
again?
the trauma. I'm seeing the cones that I ran into right now. Sorry, I'm not. That was really offensive to people that actually struggle with seizures. I'm sorry. But I feel like the right word was triggered there. But yeah, I'm driving down the highway, dude. I'm it definitely messed me up for a night or two where I was just I got to be more careful because I'm on FaceTime and I'm normally really good about looking up and stuff, but it was an extended conversation we were having, and
you trusted your car.
I just look up when I hear, and I'm just hitting channelizers. They were the white plastic signs with the arrows
Yeah.
to get over. And I guess because of maybe how tall they were or how they were, it was probably the fact that they were, they weren't a wall like this. They were stacked back.
Uh-huh.
So it'd be one, like that. So I guess the camera didn't recognize it because I hit him doing 75 miles an hour. And then I just look up, my mirror is hanging, just hitting my car. I'm on the phone. I'm trying to get over and I can't see anything because I'm
God.
on the fritz. It's repeatedly hitting my car. I have to put my hand out the window while it's pretty much raining and hold the mirror like this and drive home. And of course, dude, the normal highway that I take is closed. So I have to go through city street detours. And then I get home and I didn't know what it looked like at this point. I hadn't actually seen the car.
You didn't like pull over and like just take a
No,
peek?
dude. No, I took this one in stride,
Oh,
baby.
no.
I was rolling all the way home.
Is it one of those
I
things where you just
park it.
drove home and then just parked and like, if I don't look at it, it's fine?
Yeah, I sat in my car and I
fine.
was like, "Am I ready? Yeah, I'm ready to see it." So I got out and took the picture that you guys saw on Twitter, and I took it in to get an estimate for the damage.
And then you decided you just don't need a mirror, so it's fine.
Yeah.
What's
In
the
the state of Missouri and Illinois, you can just have 2 out of the 3 mirrors, so you're good. That's actually true, apparently. Yeah, it was $6,000 of damage. That picture, $6,000 of damage.
Oh.
40 labor hours to fix it, they said.
What?
So I spent the last couple hours of yesterday, like near the end of the day, working with my uncle, and we fixed her up a little bit. We're looking for parts to order online. You can order like the mirror piece from Tesla, not from Tesla, because they're the most, like, God, I love Tesla and I hate disparaging them in any way. But like, could you guys make it any more difficult to get this car fixed without going to a service provider? If you can't go directly to Tesla, they don't do body repairs in the shop. You have to take it to an authorized service provider. No, so you have to go to a third party. The third party then contracts it and has to order the parts from Tesla. And it can take weeks from sometimes to get the parts. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to see what I can fix myself. So my uncle and I were working on it. We like fixed the front headlight that had popped out, like the lower fog light. We buffed it up. Like it's looking a lot better. I'll have an updated picture. I'll have to go take it at some point. But like it looks a lot better. But a couple of takeaways for me here. 1, life is precious, so like you got to be a bit more careful. Number 2, autopilot is good and it is statistically safer than a human driving. But like, you know, I was probably the first car to like be in that lane, and it probably just didn't know and it didn't see because it's not perfectly smart yet. You know, it's like it's not there yet.
And the owner's FaceTiming while he's driving.
I was FaceTiming, and you know what? It was I just feel like I was getting more and more comfortable as the weeks went on with it. So I'm gonna be more vigilant.
I was gonna say, are you a little worried now? Are you cautious?
But it's just so good, dude. Like the autopilot is just so good most of the time. Like every time I get on the highway, I use it. It's the predominant way I drive. Like the car drives me more than I drive it.
And
because
it drove
it's just
right into construction.
So good. And sometimes it drives you right into construction. So that was the car incident.
Well, is that why you missed pre-orders?
No, I fell asleep. I feel like I'm just opening up the show being like, Sam, what is wrong with you? You wrecked your car. You missed pre-orders. What are you doing? Sam, dude. Everybody missed pre-orders for the fucking iMac, the iPad, all that stuff. Here's why. This is actually, okay, and it was kind of, okay, half of it was a mistake. Like I did genuinely forget it was on Friday. The other half is I don't like pre-ordering because I go out that day and get the device anyway. So I just end up having 2 and I have to return them. And I'm just waiting for the day that Apple marks me as like a serial returner because they will. Like I return so much stuff. Some of it's open, some of it's not.
To be fair, you're posting videos about it and it's press, and so I feel like it balances out. I think it's fine. I feel like it's fine.
Yeah, you're right. But I missed pre-orders on Friday because I was asleep. Because
dude, I was so confused. Like I was texting you, and then I was like, "That's weird." So, and I'm looking at Twitter and there's nothing from you. So I'm like, "Oh, that dude is sleeping."
And here's the
Sam
thing.
is sleeping.
Why do you guys do it at 7 a.m.? Why, Tim? Not everyone goes to the gym at 4 a.m., okay?
Dude, pre-orders were I said that so like I think the night before and like for the last couple weeks or so on Front Page Tech, I have been saying if you want the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, you got to get it right away. I hit the Front Page Tech the night before. I gave everyone a warning. I was like, and I quoted a source, a very professional source, that was like the 12.9-inch, the 11-inch iPad Pro is fine with supply, but supply for the 12.9-inch is severely fucked. And dude, it was so bad. Like after, I think the first 20 minutes of the 12.9-inch iPad Pro being live, they slipped to June. And then within 30 minutes, shipping slipped to July. So like, it was severely fucked, like the source said. But I I was like, okay. I mean, I've been having an internal struggle with the iMac. But I was definitely going to get one. I was going to get Karina one. Her desk is that way. And I'm like, I'm going to get Karina the pink iMac. Okay. So I set an alarm. I wake up early because I don't know what to expect. I don't know if there's like 3 of them, and then I'm going to miss the pre-orders. So I wake up early. The store wasn't working. Did you see any of that drama?
No. Again.
I mean, like later on, did you hear about it?
No, that was one of those mornings because it was AirTag release day that I got out of bed, put on a hat, and ran to the Apple store.
Gotcha.
And I literally
how far away is the Apple store from you again? I forget.
It's only like this one was only like 10, 15 minutes. So it's actually not bad.
Yeah, mine is like an hour away.
Let's talk about AirTag next because that's
I can't just go to the Apple store. Anyway, so I'm trying to get it on my phone. It won't pull up on my phone. I cannot get the store to load. I mean, I can pull up the iMac and it's like, available shipping second half of May or whatever. And it's like letting me view iMacs, but it's not letting me select any or purchase any. And I'm like, fuck. And then I'm checking Twitter and some people are like, did they forget that pre-orders were happening? Like the store didn't go down like it normally does before pre-orders. Some people were making their orders, but then some just couldn't get it. Like I was having an issue where the site I don't know if it was a caching issue or what, but it was not available for me for like the first 5 minutes. And so I'm losing my mind because I'm like, oh, by the time I get this, it's going to be like shipping in a month from now or 2 months from now. And so I got up out of bed. Was like, obviously this is not going to work on my phone. So I ran to the computer. I pull up store on my computer. It's not working in Safari. I still can't get the fucking thing to load. In Chrome, it loaded. Don't know how, but there you go, ironic. Apple. I got the store to load in Chrome. Hurried up, bought the iMac. I bought a pink iMac for Karina, and then as soon as I did that, I was like, okay, I don't need an iMac. I don't need it because I was like, I know we're just a few months away from like an iMac Pro, and if I really want an iMac, when Karina's gets here and I see it in person, because I hate that. Like, there's no videos of it in person. We still don't have videos. I have reached out to many people that would know, and no one has even been briefed. They don't know a date. No one's gotten a heads up, anything like that. And so I was like, I'll just wait. Karina will get it, and I'll be able to look at it in person, and I'll make my decision if I want it then. Yeah. And as I start to walk away from the computer after I made my order, my brain starts fucking with me. It's like, but what if you see it and you really want it, but then by then the shipment is pushed and then you won't be able to get one as quick as you want it. You might as well get it now. And so I was like, no, be strong. You don't need it. You don't need it. Because I just got the one for Karina, and even hers, like, I didn't even spec it out crazy, and even hers was like $2,000. So I was like, it's fine. I don't need it right now. And I was like, my Mac, it's literally the same thing as my Mac Mini. I don't need it. It doesn't do anything that my Mac Mini doesn't do. And I wasn't strong, Sam. I wasn't.
You weren't strong, John.
I turned around.
You did keep the faith.
I turned around and I spec'd out a blue iMac, and I bought it, and I just sat here like, fuck, look at yourself.
25.29, right?
Yeah. It was
that's how much mine was.
Yeah.
Because I did end up ordering one easily later that day. I didn't even need to wake up.
That's what I hate, dude. You never know. I rushed to get that pre-order, and it's still like 8 p.m., and they're like, no, it's still fine.
But the iPad Pro, that 12.9 inch, I did not get, and I am hoping that I will be able to obtain one on launch day. I also hate that it's all May 21st.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hard day.
Well, so
why not just do one a week?
That would have been lovely, wouldn't it? So I leaked the 21st date, like a few nights. I don't know. It was last week sometime. And then like hours later, Apple leaked it themselves. It was like, oh, thanks guys. They leaked it on the newsroom page, I think, nice. Like within the metadata. So yeah, 21st for everything. I didn't order anything else. I just got the two iMacs. I mean, it's still like really? $5,000, but I didn't order anything else.
You didn't want the Apple TV?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No.
You didn't want the iPad Pro? I'm kind of surprised you passed up the iPad Pro.
Are you really, though? I love my iPad Air.
Yeah, but why would you work on something inferior if you love that product so much, why wouldn't you get the best?
Because I'm not working on it. It's just like all this shit is just tools to me. I don't care. I'm sure there's a better hammer out there, but this one I'm completely happy with it. And I feel like most people, pain is usually the driving factor to make a change. And if there's no pain in the situation, then you're comfortable and you're fine. I mean, that's why. So I left iOS years ago because iOS was just a mess. Like when iOS 7 dropped, it was a total catastrophe. So then that's when I went to Android, and then I never saw an iPhone and was like, that's the future. I'm going back to iPhone. I didn't make the switch back to iPhone until I got fed up with something with Android, and that's what made me make the switch. So I feel like frustration is like what drives change. And I'm not frustrated with my iPad Pro or anything. That was so deep. That was so deep.
That was really
that was
deep.
So deep.
I just
I'm
I
a
feel like
fortune
I'm more of
cookie.
a techie than you in that regard, that I'm just like, if this tech is out there, I've got to have it. Like,
Yeah.
for me, it's an excitement, and I love the bleeding edge. Like, it's why I drive an electric car. It's why I love Apple products, because I feel like they're innovating the most. Like, whoever I see innovating the most in a particular genre, I feel like I'm attracted to. And like Apple, it's a lot of like deep rooted, like I liked it as a kid, and like the DNA and like the way that they portray their products is very like magical. God, I sound like such a fanboy, but it's very like it's very emotional. Like it's very emotionally driven in their marketing and their products, and the products being just great as well. Like, it's not just a good story, it's a good ending as well when you get the thing. And I think I'm gonna not get the Apple TV right away, just because I don't really care about it that much. Genuinely, like I can watch Netflix or anything I normally do on my PlayStation or Xbox or the existing Apple TV. I just have to find the remote eventually. And then the iPad Pro I'll be getting. So yeah, I got my spec'd out blue iMac order in.
Aren't you going to get one on launch day too?
Yeah. I'm going to just pick one up in store. I think usually the day that the products come out, you can do pick up in store through the Apple Store app. And
I
that's
heard
how
that they're
got,
not going to have, they're only going to have certain color options available in person.
They're only going to have the base models, is what it looks like.
Man.
So yeah, which is the blue, green, pink, and one other one. I have had an existential crisis about getting blue versus yellow, because the more I look at the yellow, the more I want the yellow.
Do you?
But the yellow doesn't ship until like July. And I think that's just like in general. A lot of the other colors are very behind, or it's late June. So it's like, it seems like they produced a lot of the main four colors, but for both the low end and the high end models with M1, but like it doesn't seem like they really spent that much time producing the higher end custom config colors, especially.
Yeah.
So
it's I mean, I'm excited.
I want yellow.
I'm excited. I caved. I made my purchase. And I don't regret it quite yet. Because worst case scenario, like I can sell it, or just like, I don't know, give it to a hobo. I don't know what a hobo would do with a whole iMac.
Hi, you don't have food or shelter, but here's an iMac.
If I gave it
How insulting would that be?
He'd be like, man, I can't eat this.
You'd be like, dude, I can't even fucking eat, and you're gonna give me an eye? Like, that would, dude. Okay, this brings up this thing that has been in my head for like the past couple of days. Did you ever in school have this thing where, for a night, to simulate being homeless, you would sleep in a box?
What the hell are you saying? What?
Dude, we had this thing in grade school and high school and college. I think it was just high school and college, because like you can't let a 7-year-old just like sleep outside unattended. I don't think. I don't know. Is that allowed? Parents.
It feels like that wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. So you basically get a cardboard box and you make it a home for a night, and it's supposed to be an exercise on simulating poverty and homelessness. And I've always had a very big ethical concern about this, because that just seems so, like, especially where I come from, which is like pretty privileged people. I'm going to sleep in a box for a night to be homeless and then go home to my mansion.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like that's a bit insulting and a very
it's
tasteless.
The thought that counts. You tried to be homeless.
That's what it is. And like, what change is being done here?
Dude,
like, I was homeless once.
Is there a preview of me on your screen?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, even when I'm cut to you, can you see me?
No, I can't see you now.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know if you could just see the preview of me anyway, because I just sneezed so hard while you were talking. It like I feel like I got fisted by the hand of Satan. That's what it feels like. I sneezed so hard that I forgot my childhood memories. It was so bad.
Well, God bless you. Are the allergies getting to you? Was it because you were sleeping outside all night, John?
It was just like tickling my pickle. It was just waiting for like the past 15 minutes. I've been struggling with this sneeze, which brings me. I was outside. I'll tell you about that in a second. First,
yeah,
cereal has returned. Adult cereal has returned. Everybody, I'm surprised you have any left. Is that the chocolate? The cocoa? That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. This episode is sponsored by Magic Spoon. Listen, cereal was always like fun and it was part of your childhood and it was so great. But then you grow up and then you look and you saw the same cereal. You ever wonder why the cereal didn't grow up with you? That's why Magic Spoon is a thing. It's like delicious but healthy cereal for adults.
It's delicious and healthy cereal. It's just really good. I could stutter over that sentence 8 more times, but here's what I'm telling you. If you're audio listeners, this is for you.
Dude, a lot of people...
That's not a crunch that you get on those sugary cereals, okay? This is 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, which is
wild,
140
dude.
calories. You guys get to eat like you're a child again, but you get to enjoy it. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. This is the sponsor. You need to support all of our sponsors, of course. We love you. But like, this is one that I love and I have a passion for, and John does as well. And we've just eaten all the cereal. Have you noticed any change in the way we look? No, it's because we're putting good stuff in our body and we're feeling great. It's just perfect.
Sam, we mentioned before, Sam did not text me when he wrecked his car. But oh man, did he text me when Magic Spoon reached out to be a sponsor. Sam lost his mind for a while and it was a very exciting thing. I'm surprised you still have any cereal left. I'm down to like half a box. So we got 4 boxes each. I'm down to like half a box, so I got to restock. And there was a lot of people in the comments for our last Magic Spoon read where they reached out and said they were going to try it. So if you guys have gotten your Magic Spoon by now, you got to let us know what you think, because this is a group, community, family thing. It is so good.
It is so good. Listen, there are 4 flavors in the variety pack. It's cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. I have heard some rumblings that there's a special edition birthday cake right now that I've been trying to get my hands on. All right. It's all on the website. You guys just go to magicspoon.com/geniusbar. You get $5 off any order. Like, my understanding, anything you order, it's $5 off, which is like a really good deal. I always love when it's like just a flat dollar rate rather than a percentage, because that usually means you get more for free. And
Right.
like, if there is a cereal that I believe in and a brand that I am fully behind as a person, it's the healthiest cereal money can buy. It's magicspoon.com/geniusbar.
Only 140 calories per serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. The variety pack, Sam's holding the cocoa. It comes with cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter. The peanut butter is my favorite. Like, I would do so many things for just a lifetime supply of that peanut butter. Go to magicspoon.com/geniusbar to grab your variety pack. Today, use promo code GeniusBar at checkout to save $5. That's this many, $5 off your order. And of course, a huge thanks to Magic Spoon for supporting Genius Bar.
Thank you, Magic Spoon. Thank you for letting me power through my days and my weeks and my months and my life.
And your life. So I'm dressed in all black. I have like a jacket on. I have a jacket.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's actually talk about this.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've worn a color other than black?
That is a fair question. I don't know. Does like a gray count?
No.
That's how I feel on the inside. So that's what I wear.
Can we have some can we get some AirTag
You're wearing
yellow
black
up in here or something? Well, today I am, because it's like 10:30. We're recording. I'm just chilling. I got out of the shower. I made some dinner. I'm tired. I'm kind of,
Tired?
I'm in my vibe. But here's the thing: you got to wear colors.
Why do you gotta wear colors? Explain to me. You were just like looking directly into my soul.
It's
right
very
now.
simple.
Why do I need to wear colors?
There's 4 reasons you wear. You've never read this book? It's called The 4 Reasons You Wear Color.
Are you bullshitting me right now?
It was by actually Dr. Seuss's wife, Mrs. Seuss. It's kind of one of the less
Seuss.
popular ones.
Yeah.
So first of all, it brightens everyone's day, including yours. When you walk into a room, do they want to be happy or sad? Most people would say happy. Do you want to be happy or sad? I would say happy as well. It's tough sometimes, you got to make the call, but I would recommend being happy. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, it can be whatever your sexual orientation is, the partner that you want goes after the prettiest bird, the brightest bird. You've seen this in robins. You've seen this in peacocks.
My guy, I'm not a peacock.
Why do they? Well, why do they spread so long and wide and are so pretty? It's because that they have the
but
biggest
when
and
I want a
brightest
mate, I
colors.
just spread my asshole. That's like the calling to like.
Well,
hey,
let's
come
keep
over.
this for the children are watching. This is a really fun, safe PG story. The third reason you want to is because it actually it helps with your style because you have more colors to mix and match. You can match it with your Nikes.
And you're not making
your
this up as you go.
Adidas, yeah, of course. It's a really, really fun exercise. And of course, this one's simple. Colors are simply better than wearing neutrals because it actually gives you a personality and makes you not boring.
Well, I don't have a personality, Sam. Speaking of my asshole,
the colors will know. Yeah.
You want a fun story about my asshole?
Oh yeah, that's just a perfect transition.
Yeah.
You know, the king and queen of transitions here on Genius Bar. You like colors? Let me tell you about my chronic medical condition.
Yeah. So this is a real thing. So she's gonna
No. I'm captivated right now. I'm
she's
sure the
gonna
audience
kill
is
me
as
for
well.
saying this out
They're
loud.
like, I've had such a hard week at work. My mom's been on my ass. If I could just escape reality for 30 minutes with these guys, my life would be better. And John's like, let me tell you about my asshole.
Okay,
No, go ahead.
She's gonna kill me for saying this, but Karina and I do this thing where if like
Where is this going, dude? Why did you have to bring your fiance into this?
All right, listen, Sam.
How do you cover your ears with AirPods on?
I'm sorry, fellow listeners. Listen. They should know better when listening or watching the show. This is not your normal tech podcast. Hey, welcome to our tech podcast, weekly tech podcast. Let me tell you about my butthole. Okay. So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If we are stressed out or like if I get sad about like I had some sad things happen throughout my life. If I think about a sad thing, Karina will show me her asshole. Same. If she is sad about something or like we're watching a movie and it triggers a sad memory, I will bend over and show her my asshole. It's like the best distraction ever, and it pulls you out of your sadness and it makes you laugh, and it works every time. We've been doing that forever.
Okay, that's actually kind of cute.
Is it though? Would you want to see my asshole? Would you be like, that's cute?
I
I'm
don't
no longer
think
sad.
I don't think I would be first on the list, but like you could put me on there like a little bit down on the page, maybe like a third of the way down. I'll be like a thirder to the ass view.
It's real, dude. It's a real thing. If she's really sad about something, I can see. I'm like, oh, baby, you want to see my ball? And then
Wow.
it's a real thing. She's gonna come with
See,
you
this
saying
is
that.
the content that the people of YouTube. Well, now we're on YouTube, but the people
Yep.
that just watch Front Page Tech and I Update miss out on is they're
Which-
like, these guys are just perfectly normal people, and then we just
Which, by
whip
the
our
way-
butts in the air, and that's how it goes.
I feel like we got to say thank you to all the listeners on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff, and all the new viewers on YouTube. Show's doing better than ever, which we did not expect. So thank you for just like, because we assumed that we start the YouTube thing and then no one will listen to it anymore. But that's not the case at all. We've gotten a bunch of new listeners and people watching on YouTube. So thank you to the audience for supporting the show. And we're very sorry because you get butthole stories.
You guys are awesome. I'm actually going on our channel. We applied for monetization recently.
did we?
And I'm just curious if we got because the videos have not been monetized aside from like just sponsors.
It only took 2 episodes on YouTube to do that?
We're in progress to be reviewed. I'm surprised that it doesn't see that this is
Wait,
linked
so it's
to,
like we're being reviewed to be reviewed?
basically, yeah. I'm surprised it doesn't because iUpdate is linked to the Google account that we have the Genius Bar channel on, and I'm just kind of surprised that they don't see that and see that that's like a career, then just be like, oh, of course we're gonna monetize. Like, I'm
Yeah, you would
surprised
think
it
that.
takes or also that you're attacked.
No, we got to be treated like everybody else, Sam.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Speaking of money,
I'd rather have
that's why I'm dressed like this.
Yeah. Okay,
So
we're
I
talking
did
about
a
black.
special. I was gonna talk about why I'm dressed like this and end up talking about my butthole. I don't understand what happens. Okay, so I'm dressed like this because I don't know when you guys will see it, but I'm working on a pre-roll ad, like a regular YouTube ad. So I guess if you have YouTube Premium or something or an ad blocker, you won't see it.
Oh, is this for the company that we both work with?
Yes, it's for the company that we both work for, and it's taking the angle of I'm a burglar. And if not using a VPN is like the equivalent to just leaving your front door unlocked. And so I was dressed like a burglar. I had a ski mask on. It was a whole thing. You were like, because we say this all the time. Every week, one of us is late. This week was Sam's week to be late. And he texted me. I think it was like 8:30. And we were going to record at 9. And you texted me and were like, hey, man, how about 9:30? So it's like, oh, that's perfect because I can hurry up and shoot this piece outside that I got to use for the pre-roll ad. And so I did that. I ran outside, filmed that, and then came back in here to do the podcast and did not have enough time to change my clothing. And so I look like a burglar.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I think you look great. It's
Thank
not
you.
much different from the normal front page tech attire.
Yeah, except I got a jacket.
That's cool, dude.
Like, you can't even tell. I look so mysterious.
Dude, you're switching it up with that jacket. What is it going to be? A light gray next?
I know.
Man, this could get out of control.
Careful, I might put a hood on this.
Well, I'm very excited to see the ad. That will be very, very, very exciting.
I have set us up for the best segue, by the way.
Wait, what'd you say?
I have set us up for the best segue.
Oh,
I'm dressed like a burglar.
I won't ruin it. Okay.
Dressed like a burglar, which is bad. Burglars are bad. You know who could also dress like this? A stalker. You see where I'm going? Your AirTags video. I was just trying to be a smooth transition. Didn't really work. Go ahead. Tell us about your AirTags video.
I lost my eye hunting for the AirTags.
How many did you buy, by the way?
I bought the 4-pack, which is perfect. Like, the fact that they sell that is really cool. I think it was the perfect amount for me. First, though, why did they make this accessory? This is the worst. This is the worst.
That's if you don't watch the video version, he just threw it. He just accidentally threw
but not
the
intentionally.
AirTag.
This is the worst product I have ever touched in my entire life.
Wait, what?
It is flimsy. Okay, it's $30, which is as much as the AirTag itself.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying the AirTag is the worst product.
How did they convince me to buy 2 of them? They are paper thin. They're absolute garbage. You have to try 3 times to fasten it to make it small. Why would this ever need to be this long? Again,
is that the Apple keychain thing?
This is the official Apple branded polyurethane magic butthole juice concoction they've got going on. Because I didn't want to pay a $5 more to get the leather. That's not important. The protection is minimal at best. I do think it looks really nice on the back. I will say that. The AirTag it's beautiful. I can't believe I'm saying that about a tracker, but it's really bad. Just don't buy these. Don't buy the $30. Don't buy these. They're so bad. I just don't understand. Ultra wideband costing $30. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a deal. And then it's just the casing. How is the casing? Have you gotten your AirTags in? Have you picked some up?
No, so I went to. So that was one of those things where I regretted. So I did not wake up early. I was like, it'll be fine. They'll be available. And when I finally went to order them, because I was going to get dubious engraved on it. It's not even for me to use. I just want to have it because that was a big leak that I had. So.
Oh yeah.
But when I went to order it, they were pushed way, way back. And then I was like, fuck it. I'll just get it at an Apple store, like a Best Buy or something. And then I just forgot.
Oh, dude.
That's why I didn't mess around with the iMac thing. That's why I got up early. And of course, the iMac was totally fine. It's just, if I really want it, if I really want it and I'm like, oh, wait, I'll miss out. But if I'm up early, I'll get it, but it won't. The shipments won't slip, and I'll just look like an idiot because I could have slept in and just bought it at 9 p.m.
Yeah. Do you have a Best Buy near you? I guarantee they're in stock at a Best Buy.
I do. Yeah.
The stock of AirTags is. Have you seen that it's basically been ready for 2 years?
Yes, but I've been saying that. I have been saying that. Vindication, everybody.
No one believed you that these little tags.
Dude, everyone made fun of me. They're like, "Oh, John's saying it's coming again. He's saying it's coming at the next event. It's ready." Which is true. I have been saying since September, October that it could be coming, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's just eventually you'll be right, Prosser." He's just guessing. People, it has been ready for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, every piece of evidence
says
that
what? There's some that says 2019. There's some that says 2020. God.
There's some that don't list the iOS version in the release notes. I think maybe all of them actually don't say like they're just like be on the latest firmware, just do it. But normally they would always be like requires 14.3 or newer.
Know.
Because it's been in the firmware for 2 years. They
just a few months
could have
ago,
enabled it at any point.
Just a few months ago, I said that from what I was told, the delay was because of the pandemic and because it requires the iPhone, the iOS network. I guess it could be any iOS device, really, right?
Yeah. Well, I believe it's iPhone and Bluetooth. I don't think like an iPad can find an AirTag, from my understanding.
What? You don't think so?
Not from what I've seen.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Either way,
it's weird. I agree.
You would think that they would take advantage of like all their devices.
Yeah, I know.
Somehow.
I agree. Or like
Either
Apple
way.
Watch.
Yeah, Apple Watch. Either way, yeah, they've been ready for a while. Months ago I said that from what I was told, they had been ready, but because of the pandemic and stuff that was going on, they were holding off because this sort of requires people to be out and about and outside. And the 2020 was the opposite of that. Everyone was stuck inside, and so there wasn't like a large network of people outside. I mean, I guess there technically always is, but it wasn't launch material where everyone's starting to be outside again. And so they sort of waited for, now we have the vaccine and restrictions are starting to be lifted. So I guess now they figured it's like a good enough time to release them. But either way, they have been ready for so long, which explains how I leaked the design for them in September last year, and literally 0% of it had been changed since then. Like the final product looks exactly like that. And so it just makes me wonder what else they're sitting on. I mean, that Apple TV they were sitting on for a while.
Oh my God.
Remember, I sent you pictures of that thing.
Yeah. But didn't that one have an A12X and not an A12?
Yeah. It had an A12X in it.
So they opted for something different. Like,
on the thing it
said
A12 bin X. What does that mean? Is that the A12X?
I don't know.
I don't know either. What do I know?
Hopefully.
I don't work there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe bin X. That wouldn't be like the crop of the device that would be like revealing information, would it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I hope not.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I was just, I'm always paranoid. I'm like, oh God. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a great product. Like I had a lot of fun on Friday. Literally, like I don't normally like not post on day one, but I worked from. So also my parents are moving, and like it's a move.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we're downsizing to a small midtown apartment. It's like we're going from one house to a bigger house, and there's so much stuff. And I love you, Mom and Dad. You're the best, but you better look at those boxes of baseball cards, okay? Because you haven't looked at baseball cards in 35 years of marriage. And but you had to pack them.
Right. They were
So
required
let's
this time.
figure this out, okay? Because they were heavy. I spent all day Friday I woke up at like 10:45 a.m. because I was out the night before. I was super tired. Hit it hard, working on content, met it with my friend, filmed in Forest Park, didn't finish until 8 o'clock, then immediately went to dinner with some friends. Randomly at 2 a.m. on Saturday morning, we're just like chilling after eating, just talking in the parking lot of this restaurant called Seamus McDaniel's in St. Louis. And this golf cart with a couple of girls on it just drives by. And I was like, that's kind of weird. And then they turn around and we're like, you guys want to ride? And we're like, sure. So we just hopped on a golf cart and we're just driving on like main roads with this golf cart. And we went to a gas station at one point and I was like, this is what life should be post-pandemic. Like this was fun. It was cute. We get to meet new people. Like, I'm fully vaxxed now, which is great. Have you gotten your first or second shot yet?
No, I have not.
Dude, you gotta get going. Although the supply is just a million. It's like they're
the only one, I think I said the only one they had in the area for a while was the Johnson & Johnson. Yeah. The fucky one.
We like Okay, this is not a vaccine hesitancy joke because I fully believe in the vaccine. I was gonna say also known as blood clot,
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It was only like a couple.
The Johnson & Johnson one was not fine, to clarify. Not fine. So choose from any other one.
I've heard it was a bit of an overreaction for pulling it because it was only a couple people, and now vaccine hesitancy, which is already an issue, is like even tougher.
I'm sure that doesn't help.
The media has been blowing up every vaccine story that they can, which is really bad.
I haven't seen anyone grow a third arm yet, so.
No, it's fine.
Which actually,
it's
I'd be
super
fine with
safe,
that. If
and
I had a third
yeah,
arm. Hell yeah.
that'd actually be helpful. Yeah, I mean, it's great if you guys are watching and you're sort of on the fence or you're like worried or don't know. Like, I was definitely there for a minute too, but I also feel way better being vaccinated, and I like knowing that I'm a part of like helping things get back
Or
to
is
normal.
that the reason why you wrecked your car and
Yeah,
I got vaccinated and then on my way home, I wrecked.
yeah, just 1-to-1.
Go ahead,
correlation.
CNN. Do what you will with that.
Yeah. Just oh man, I bet they would eat that story up. It was like while I'm on autopilot getting the injection, and I just swerve. Like, no, it's a good time.
Well, listen. Before we jump into the rest of your AirTags video, I'm sorry I gotta do this, but I gotta take full credit for this one.
Okay.
My story about how I get out of the shower naked, I keep my legs spread, turn the fan on, lay on my back on the bed.
Yeah.
Cool my balls down because of the crop reviver from Manscaped, our sponsor Manscaped. They came back, boys. Manscaped is back on the show, everybody.
Back. And
Yeah,
they are back for a minute. We will say that, guys. Manscaped, just such a good, just a genuinely good brand that would fit us. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that watch a show and they're like, maybe this wouldn't be a good show to promote on. And Manscaped is like, listen. These guys know how to get down to business. They especially if I'm like bending over to show Karina my butthole when she's sad and I want to like help distract her and boost the mood. I want to be clean down there. You know what I mean? It's gotta look nice.
Yeah, you gotta look nice for that. So
we
gotta welcome him back to the show.
We've all had that. We've talked about this. We've had a couple of bad grooming experiences below the waist.
Oh yeah.
Can get a little sketchy. Luckily with the Manscaped Weed Whacker, 9,000 RPM. It's nice. Got a little light down there. You can just zoobs on, sweet. And then, next time you get picked up by some girls on a golf cart, who knows what could happen? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, and it's spring right now. Spring has sprung, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get ready. It's time to clean up your nethers. Can we say that? Can we just
nether regions?
Yeah.
God, I feel like it's in 1700.
Manscaped, feel free to take that. Manscaped, clean up your nethers. Anyway, my favorite one is definitely the crop reviver. So even when you clean up, you use the lawnmower. What is it? The lawnmower 3.0. You get everything trimmed down there because listen. Dear Lord, people, if you're just like coasting through life and you are not trimming or just kind of just taking care of yourself down there, what are you, a caveman? What year is this? What are you doing with your life? Don't let that shit get out of hand. Take care of it. Everyone just chill, take a second, get all comfy. We have hue lights in the bathroom. Put those on like a nice warm color, get in the mood, turn on some music. Yeah, red. Turn on some music and get manscaping, man. Plus, after you're all cleaned up, I'm telling you, you got to get Manscaped and try my method. Use the crop reviver, a little ball spritzer spray. Lift your wiener, get a little spray on your balls. And
that's what you do.
Sit
because
down and let them air dry. It says on the bottle, let it air dry. It says let them air dry. And so I'm taking full advantage of that. I relax. That's like prime time. That is the best part of my day. After I spritz my balls and I lay down, I'm just letting the air cool them off. It's so nice. So great.
Listen, guys when you go to manscaped.com, you're getting 20% off and free shipping when you use code Genius. So like it's no slash or anything, just manscaped.com. Use code Genius, 20% off and free shipping. This is going to apply again to pretty much anything. Your balls will thank you, okay? It's spring cleaning. We got the house looking a little bit nicer. We got the sets of the pod look a little bit nicer. Let's make those nethers look a little bit nicer as well.
And plus, like it's like if you told me that you weren't vaccinated, and I would probably stay away from you. If you tell me that you don't trim down there, I'm gonna stay away from you.
Minimal asshole viewing, if that's the case.
And of course, a huge thanks to Manscaped for supporting the show. Again, okay, Sam, I got a problem with your AirTag video.
Okay, John, lay it on me, pal.
You worked on it so hard.
I worked on that for probably 16 hours with editing.
It comes out, and you just... So, first of all, it was great. AirTag seemed to be like very fluid and accurate, and I mean, unless you cut some stuff out, did it just work every time like that?
No,
Didn't have
no,
any
I'm
major issues?
I'm very ethical. Like I put as close to the amount of time that had passed for me searching as it did. Like there, all three times I was like, it's not being found. Like I've been out here for 4, 5, 6 minutes just walking in circles, and like it was also hilarious because everyone was outside that day. So I'm just like at the bottom of this hill with like probably 1,000 people just like spread out, and they're just like watching this dude go like back and forth, like contemplating life to if he's going to jump into the lake or not. And I'm like, and then I'm holding my phone up like this because I'm trying to get it to get the signal, and nothing is working. So yeah, I absolutely thought it wasn't going to work, but no, every single time, it worked, and it was from just Apple's iPhones pinging it. Like it was actually quite impressive.
But
then
you
what?
brushed
What's the
you
problem?
brushed over a little part towards the end of your video where you like tried to track your friend with it and it did not notify them.
Okay, this is actually kind of
it's worrying me, Sam.
Okay, I have some updates. I left this one with my parents because I put it on my dog and I just never took it off. My mom got a notification after like just a couple of hours that this AirTag was following her around. So
really?
She got a notification on her phone. So the protection is there, and I verified that it does exist and work.
So they didn't just say it.
No.
It's an actual thing that exists.
If you have an iPhone, you should be good. Like you'll be notified. Again, I think they should like ask consent like 15 minutes of somebody else's AirTag with you. I would send a push just to be like, hey, is this your AirTag? And if it is, great. If it's your friend's AirTag, great.
Yeah, but yeah, it needs to be sooner because just hypothetically, if you're like at a bar or something and someone puts it on your car, like all you need is like 15, 20 minutes to get home, and then they know where you live.
Now, some commenters brought up some great stuff I didn't even think about. They were like, well, hey, Sam and John, if they steal your item, then they can just deactivate it instantly. Like if they get the push notification in 5 minutes, which is the initial time that I suggested, they're like, you're never going to find your item. It's just going to be gone because they're going to deactivate it. So I was like, okay, this is fair. And the line is tough because I don't think I have the perfect answer, but I do think that it's problematic that one, it's a couple of hours. That feels too long, like straight up couple hours too long. Or the fact that you just don't get notified if you're not an iPhone user. If you use Android,
that's rough. That's really, really rough.
Don't get notified. Yet, I say this not to say this is a problem with Apple's AirTag. This is a problem with all item trackers.
That's what I was going to bring up. Like
Tile.
Is this just exposing a problem that has been around?
I've never heard Tile or what is the
Chipolo?
Chipolo? Oh my, that's the word. Guys, change the name.
Funny thing, real quick. Chipolo. We have Chipolo wallets. So it's like a little debit card size thing. It slides into the wallet. Do I have my wallet around? I don't have my wallet. But Karina and I both use it. And this is not even a joke. Like, I think about an hour ago, she got a notification on her phone from Chipolo that said, thank you, you helped somebody find their Chipolo. So because I guess like we're part of the Chipolo network, it like thanked her for helping. Cool. Yeah, it'd be cool if AirTags did that. But I think this is exposing problems that have been around for trackers that we just don't think about because, not to sound like a fanboy, but that's what happens. That's why the whole marketing campaign of like, oh, 5G just got real. Yes, we've had 5G for a while, but when Apple does it, just the pure scale that they're able to implement stuff exposes problems like this. And yes, trackers have been a thing for a while. Yes, you probably thought the same thing about trackers for a while. Yes, somebody's probably used a tracker to stalk somebody before, but like the sheer amount of the sheer scale of this and how accessible AirTags are, being an Apple product that, these are going to be introduced to people that somehow had no idea that trackers like this even exist. This is going to be their first experience with them. And it's that is troubling and scary. And I don't know it's even more scary that I don't know what the proper solution would be. Like, I can't even think of what they could do to like minimize the impact of this, because it's like, then we just get rid of trackers altogether. There's like I feel like, what do you think the fine line is between like the notification? When is it a little bit too long to send a notification?
Yeah, I was going to say that the line is that the problem to solve is long enough to where somebody can't steal your item and deactivate the AirTag immediately, but short enough to where it can't be used maliciously. And I think that line would probably be, I don't know, 15 minutes. But how do you, if somebody just takes your stuff, they could just act like you put it on them and then deactivate it instantly.
Yeah.
But hold on, because you can just pop AirTags off and delete them instantly anyway. Like, as soon as you steal somebody's stuff and you see one of these, if you're a thief, you just press on the back and twist, and it's gone. So
yeah.
I mean,
it's tough, and like this is another one where I can communicate and verbalize that I have a problem with this, but I can't offer a solution. I have a major problem because it's such a gamble, and if the person doesn't have an iOS device, like, they are fucked. There's no, and I can't think of a way where Apple could somehow notify them. There's no way.
You know what? Maybe, you know what? I think I just came up with the solution. Because this would work both ways. If you steal somebody's stuff, okay, I'm really proud of this. If you steal somebody's stuff, I said around 15 minutes. So let's say it's 15 minutes, you just stole somebody's stuff. That push that says an AirTag is following you should have some information about, maybe I'm getting this reversed. Like, I was thinking a push notification that would have my picture, name, and phone number right away, rather than just someone lost their tag, call this number. Because I'm thinking, if you steal somebody's stuff, the only way to get rid of that push would be to like deactivate the AirTag. But like, what if there was a way when you put somebody's tracker on them? Like, this would this basically solves the following issue of stalking, rather than like the perfect solution. But if you put someone's tracker on them, that push shows who the person is, and it's linked to your Apple ID, so that you go to law enforcement and report it.
But that's dangerous, because like, what if?
Yeah.
It's just like that. That's the issue there is that if it can give that sort of information, that means that information is in the network, which means if it can give that information up for someone who's using it maliciously, it's also storing the information for people who aren't. And then that's when privacy concerns come into play. And that's like part of this whole thing, that it's not linked to like you personally. I think that would be a huge issue if that was part of the network where, yes, we know your ID and it's stored in the network and the AirTag knows who you are, and not even just telling somebody who you are, but the fact that it's stored at all just leaves it open to be abused some way, somehow, at some point. And and it still doesn't clear up the problem with if someone has an Android device.
Yeah, so that's a big issue.
That is like, if there was a soccer or someone, most people have their phones out, especially like in a public place. Like if you're at a restaurant or a bar or something like that, and you look and like it's a Samsung Galaxy, who gives a fuck, or a Huawei P90X, whatever they have, and then you're like, they will never know. You could put it on anything, and that person will never know.
I'm a big believer in incentives, as far as like for that driving behavior more so than anything else. And I'm thinking of incentives to expose people that would abuse the system, to expose stalkers, to punish them. I feel like socially there could be some construct. Again, like this information could be abused, but like I'm thinking of some kind of like public registry. Like if you stuck an AirTag on somebody, that like the serial number could be reported,
like just some form of accountability.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Listen, you and I think both agree, privacy and security. That's why we work with VPN companies like WeVPN and stuff. Like we are full supporters of this. Apple is the biggest proponent in the tech community of this. I just feel like right now they've done a great job of protecting those privacies by not storing or logging a lot of those things. At the same time, there's no incentive not to track people with an AirTag right now. And I'm not saying that to encourage anyone to do it. I'm just saying
they're gonna get caught and be like, "But I heard it on Genius Bar."
Well, yeah, it's just like, what's the consequence? I don't see one. I don't see Apple coming up with one and launching it at something at this big of a scale. I don't think it's going to become widespread and problematic. But like, I'll be honest, just when you were talking, I just thought of this. I was like, oh, if you're like, some girls like at a bar with her purse, you could just slide it in there.
Yep.
Oh, nice talking to you. See ya. Like, that's just saying that. I'm like cringing because I'm like, oh, it's so creepy
And like
and violating, and I hate it.
And look
But
how
like,
look how fucked that is though, because okay,
no, I know.
either she doesn't find it, and you can track her for however long you want,
I hate this.
or she does find it and she just goes and she's just really creeped out. But
Yeah.
you, as the person that did it, you don't have to worry because she won't know whose it is. She won't know. There's no way for her to know.
And
She
here's
can
the
throw it
thing.
away, she can deactivate it and all that stuff. And then the person at home is not held accountable. They just go, oh, that's a bummer. It's deactivated. Guess I'll try again some other time. But she has no idea who you are and you're anonymous and safe.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's protections. There's got to be a better way. I think some kind of public serial number registry that could then be flagged. And like the fact these are tied to an Apple ID, they are stored somewhere. Like these are iCloud locked to your ID. And again, I'm not, the first example of me being like, your information should be public. That's you're definitely right. That is not the right call universally.
But is it something that you'd be willing to do for like the greater good? Like you understand this is why you're doing this. And like, is that are you willing to sacrifice that level of privacy for just the greater good and safety of others?
I think I would. Or, maybe I'll get pushback for this, but I'm just like linking this to a government issued ID of some kind. Like I'm just thinking of accountability, right? Because that's what terrifies me is like, if I found one of these on me, the idea
Oh,
that
dude, I got the
me
heebie-jeebies thinking of just like finding one. I'd be like, oh, fuck.
is really fucking scary because you don't know who it was.
Yeah.
Was it your coworker that's been acting weird lately? Was it the weird guy at the bar that didn't leave you? Like, who was it?
If you're home, like imagine finding one at home.
Oh, man.
You're just like, that's over. They know where I live. I'm fucking burning this place down and moving out.
Because that's the thing, John. Even with my mom and me leaving this with her, she asked me, she goes, what's this thing? It's saying I'm being tracked by an AirTag. What does that mean? And it was still working.
She wasn't familiar with it. And so
she knew what AirTag was because I'm her son, obviously. And like, again, I just want to make clear, I was not using this maliciously. Like I left it at their house. I wasn't like trying to track my parents. But because this is the one that I had on Little Maisie, my dog.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I definitely think that a lot of people will be like, what is this? And I did notice Apple does leave that notification forefront. So it never goes in a notification center.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you unlock your iPhone, it's first thing you see. Great, good call, the right call. Yet again, that AirTag could be meant from anybody.
Yeah. It's scary, dude. Like,
and I hope that we're not feeding into the issue by talking about it. Like, I hope it's not one of those things where it's like,
I mean, but people have to know, like like
it's better to be aware.
And what about the people that aren't like us, that weren't paying attention to Twitter, that weren't following these leaks for the last 2 years? They have no idea what an AirTag even is. And they get that notification. Are they just going to like dismiss it because they don't know what it is?
Yeah.
Like,
and then when you disable it,
they're going to think it's some like sketchy ass fake pop-up, like when you're on a browser and you get those ads where it's like a security update or something. It's just like a bullshit fake pop-up.
It looks like a Firefox like update.
Yeah. They're going to be like, oh, this is not real. And then just dismiss it and then be tracked for the rest of their life.
Yeah, man, it's a scary concept. And I don't think that Apple is not intentionally providing protections to bad actors.
Oh, yeah.
But it is something that I want to see improved. And quite honestly, I've seen Apple be pretty quiet about everything so far. Like I have a feeling they are watching this launch very closely. I also know that it is not going to be great when that first stalked by an AirTag story comes out. And you know CNN. What's coming.
Do you think?
And I hope it never does. But
do you think there's a chance that we hear something like a dub, like some sort of patch or fix? Like they've taken all the criticism and they've worked out like some sort of solution, and we hear something as soon as WWDC. I mean, I feel like
so.
I want to say like. I would hope that they have worked out all the scenarios in their heads before they even launched it. So like this is the best they can do. I guess.
One of the best examples to think about like how tech companies work that my friend ever gave me. His name was Brian. We were still like cool. We went to college together. We worked out and stuff. He's a double E major, electrical engineering. And he goes, I saw Google Maps just got like the speed limit sign update. Like, how they show you like the speed limit on
because they bought Waze
a
couple years ago.
He was like, for a long time, it wasn't even an Apple Maps. And he brought up this really good point that like, dude, if you and I that are college students are thinking about this, like, trust me, there's a reason it hasn't been added yet. Like, there are engineers making $500,000+ a year living it up in California. Like, that is their job to think of these things that we haven't thought of. And if there's a common feature like that that's not there yet, like Apple was in a Zoom call during the pandemic just like this. I bet some brilliant employee brought up this exact same thing about incentives and how do we not get someone to do it.
Yeah.
And they settled on this
Right.
because this is an okay middle ground. But I hope that Apple doesn't stay here, and I will be disappointed, and my long-term view of AirPods will change if nothing changes. If they just leave it right now and say, sometime, Apple, why don't we have a specific concrete hour, minute breakdown so that somebody can like know what to expect? Like, it's just very ambiguous. And, they've done a lot of stuff. I feel like working with like The Verge or like other people that got it early to like talk about it, but they haven't said much directly. And
what,
I'm sure that's because they're a bit worried about it.
Here's another thing to wonder about. You're tracking somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's assume that everything went completely the way it was supposed to, as intended. They got the notification. What happens to the person that tracked it or that placed it there? Like, even if someone's like, okay, you get the notification for AirTag, you don't dismiss it. You're like, I am being tracked. I don't like this, whatever. There's no, like, from what I understand, there's no consequence. You would think like they would limit that Apple ID or just something like, oh, you're not using AirTags anymore. Just like, because obviously they know who it's attached to. Apple does, at least. So like, what do they get? Like, oh, you do you get a notification? It's like, hey, they caught you. They just, they turned off your AirTag. Okay, you lose your AirTag. Somebody finds out they were being tracked. They turn the AirTag off, and you go, oh, better luck next time. Like, there's no consequence.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Why isn't there a consequence?
It's like all the GPS trackers from the movies, like the crazy ones, like, oh, just now $29, and now anyone has access to it. Yeah.
They're so affordable. And why is there no consequence? That would be a great place to start right now, is just a uncomfortable pop-up on your phone.
Right.
That's like, hey, were you tracking someone?
Uh-huh.
And again, it's just like, engineers getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why would we not introduce that now? And it's like, then that's because Apple becomes this weird quasi police entity that's now investigating a potential stalking case. When really legally that should be a law enforcement issue.
Well, that just opened up my brain to a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Because if they don't promise to enforce stuff like that, then they can't be held liable. That's the issue.
Yes.
Because if they promise a network like this, then all the lawsuits can go towards them. And at this point, all they can say, like, they're protected with, like, listen, it's just a product that we put out there. Like, it's just, we're not actually actively monitoring stuff. That's not the service we're providing. We're just assuming that everyone using them is being responsible. And the people that are using them maliciously, those people should be held accountable. It's when Apple starts to like promise to police stuff to where they become more accountable, and stuff can backfire on them really quick. See, it's one of those engineering things where somebody already said it, and then like I'm late into the game, be like, oh, but what if?
Yep.
That's why they get paid the big bucks.
It's the same reason that they say that the blood oxygen monitoring on Apple Watch Series 6 is for wellness, it's not a FDA approved. Like the ECG is actually, I believe, FDA approved, and that's why regulatory wise, some countries still have it. Like some of you guys watching might be like, I have the newest watch and I paid for it, but I don't have ECG. It's because Apple has it region locked and disabled in some areas because liably they don't want to be responsible.
Right. It's It's not like I'm in a position where I was like, wow, I wish they didn't even release it. I would have rather
No,
they just
no,
didn't
no,
release
no.
it. I'm glad they released it, but it's still like,
It's a great product, dude. The precision finding is, it's, I mean, if you saw my video, like it was incredible.
mm-hmm,
Like things that I would have never found because a speaker you're not going to hear outside on a busy day.
right.
It 6 meters to your left. What? Oh, there it literally is.
Yeah.
Like it's so good.
Yeah, the
Ultra
U1 chip is
wideband.
very nice.
It's good because of course you get the U1 precision finding on the newer iPhones, but like at the same time, what else are we gonna see that U1 chip for? I feel like there's more cooking up, man. There's got to be more cooking up. There's no way it was just like you're telling me they put R&D in a piece of tech in every single iPhone and Apple Watch as well. That comes out.
fucking. I mean, I leaked this stuff. I leaked all the products that U1 was coming to. It's in the HomePod Mini. So it's like they've created these little hubs for a reason. Oh, also, I'm curious to see a teardown of the new Apple TV. Because I heard stories that like, oh, there's no U1 chip in the remote or whatever. I want to see a teardown. I want to see.
You think
proof.
it might be inside?
I think it might just be like deactivated. Same way, like
why would they do that though?
I don't know. Like maybe the only way I can assume or like figure things out in my head is like maybe they manufactured it with it in it and just figured out software wise there was something that wasn't going to work and they limited it that way. I mean, they did the same thing in the HomePod Mini. Isn't there like a temperature sensor in there that's not working?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
that's
just
what I'm saying. Like it makes
weird.
iOS still references being able to find your remote, and there's just like that was like part of the new features coming to the new Apple TV was that there was supposed to be. I mean, think about that. Like you have a U1 chip in your remote, you lose it, and you can open the Find My app. And I mean, out of everything in this world, I lose my remote more than anything.
It seems like a miss, very clearly.
Well, that's why I wanted to tear it down. I feel like if we actually look inside, it'll be there. I don't know.
But Apple actually put out a statement and said it's not in there. Like they sent The Verge a statement that was like it is not inside the remote.
Did they?
Even though
still
Siri
fucking tear it down.
Siri was telling people that you could find your remote and Find My.
Yeah.
Like it was a planned feature. Gurman said the same thing. Like you and Gurman aren't. I mean, we know you don't make stuff up, but I'm like Gurman especially doesn't mention anything unless he's sure.
Mm-hmm.
And like said it's gonna have Find My. Even the verifier, like 2 years ago, told me that it was gonna be inside the remote, and I was like, and it just seems like a miss.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Weird. Don't know. That's one of those things I get. There's got to be some reason because
you didn't order
why
one?
would you not? Not yet. I think again I'll probably pick it up and take a look at it. But like if I order it, it just UPS it comes at like 4 p.m. and I've lost 6 hours of shooting time. So
yeah,
I always got to go out, and it's just I just like knowing that I'm going to be able to get it in store and like have it in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely like. You know, once I'm an Apple Tech elite like you, John, I'll just have it come to the door.
An Apple Tech elite, yeah.
4 p.m. Get it. Do you get UPS early or late in the day? Because it really depends. Yeah.
Like
who gets it at 8 a.m.? Like I don't know.
Dude, I get mine around 5 p.m., but there have been days where like where it's like arriving today by 9 p.m. There are days where it will show up at 9 fucking p.m. Like, what?
Dude, anytime it doesn't come by 4:30 p.m., it's not coming. Like even if it says till 9, I've waited. I think there was one time in like 30 occasions where I was waiting for something that it came at like 8:30.
Oh yeah, if
like,
it says
UPS
it's coming for me, it'll
then.
come. But like there will be times where I'll wait until literally 9 p.m. and they'll ring the doorbell in pitch black in the darkness.
Dude, that is so terrifying. How long do we have? How many weeks until we get new products? I guess three weeks essentially, right?
Yeah. Okay. So it said, dude, I'm gonna be very disappointed because the iMac says the 21st through the 27th. What does that mean?
Wait, did you get the spec'd out blue for 21st to the 27th?
Yeah.
Oh.
I told you I pre-ordered like within the first few minutes.
But usually custom orders take longer no matter what. Like they never ship on release day.
It says 21st through the 27th for me.
Dang. Wait, did I get something on the 21st?
Well,
I don't know. I'll have to check.
Does that mean that there's a chance that mine won't ship? And I won't get it on launch day. I'll get it like on the 27th. and just want to die inside. And I'll have to dress in
that's
black
happened to
for
me
even
before.
longer.
Dude, I love that they give the range. I think that means that like they're gonna try, but like no guarantees because production's been real tough.
Yeah.
No, not great. So
And
I
dude,
can't wait to get it. But
I feel like this
Yeah,
is an
3
instant
weeks.
mistake because I bought it. I'm glad I bought it, but I know deep in my balls that in a couple weeks at WWDC, they're gonna show us some shit that I'll be like, why did I just buy the fucking iMac? I should have just been patient and waited. Or later in the year, October, November, we get like an M2 or an M1X, and I'll hate myself.
dude, I think we're not gonna get hardware at WWDC this year.
No. I mean, I think we might get like just a look at something, not actual hardware, but like a look at where the M chips are going. I don't know, but either way, by the end of the year, I'll have something that is clearly better. And I could have just waited. If we get something clearly better in October, November, will you just buy my iMac that I bought?
No,
That I impulse bought.
If it's yellow, I will. John, I mean, here's the thing.
What if it's blue with a D brand skin on it?
We're not talking about them. They pay me. Send me an iPhone for me to say your name. Okay. We will not talk about generic skin company without payment. Did you see? No,
Good.
I'm not going to say it because I'm not confident.
What?
I heard something.
Say it, and if we need to get rid of it, we'll cut it out of the show. What is it?
I heard from a very trusted source that
welcome back to the show. AirPods 3 will come in a press release. That is for sure.
yes.
And just look around. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, we've just been hearing that they could be coming there.
I mean, they weren't at the last event.
And we don't think they're
not going to be at
WWDC.
WWDC. So just what would happen in between those two events that might, I don't know, just keep an eye out.
We'll see. I mean, we got products in May last.
I mean, this is what you want. You want AirPods 3 very badly.
Apple May event leaked on Genius Bar.
Oh, dude, I will give the first person that can guess that reference, I will give them $100. PayPal them $100.
I will too. We're still working on our pending investigation. That's all we'll say. Pending investigation.
I think. Do you have anything else you want to talk about on the show?
Nope. I'm ready to. Dude, I'm tired. It's just been a long. I hate. Like, I want it to be Friday so I can be like, oh, I can sleep in and chill. I think I am gonna sleep in tomorrow. Just like treat myself a little bit.
What you act like we have a job.
Well, I've been trying to get better. I've been trying to wake up at like 10 a.m. Like.
Does it help?
It's like 10:30. I do feel more productive in a day.
Dude,
I'm able to like work out and do other things. But
I started taking B12 vitamins.
what does that do?
The best. So B12 like there's different variations, but effectively it's for like metabolism and like converting energy. But fuck all that. It's actually like really good for your mood.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you look at, like, if you get a bottle of B12 and you find it at the store, it says metabolism, energy conversion stuff, whatever. Get it for mood. So regardless of what the bottle says, get a bottle of B12, and it's like, it's like a noticeable difference in my life. And it's just a vitamin.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's great. Highly recommend.
Antidepressant. What?
Highly recommend B12.
I take B12.
Dude, if I keep taking it, I might start dressing in colors. You never know.
Dude, oh my God, that could be exciting. All right.
All right, guys.
Great talking
thank
to
you to the sponsors, of course, Magic Spoon, and Manscaped.
MagicSpoon.com/Genius Bar. And then Manscaped.com. Use code Genius Bar.
That's it. You got anything else you want to say?
No, we're good, dude. I love you.
All right, everybody be good. We'll see you next week. Or not.
We'll see you guys next week. Well,
I mean, you never know, because Sam wrecked his car this week. That could have been it. What if I had to come on the show and like announce that we lost Sam?
Oh, I don't want to think about that. Like, what if? No,
just be good.
I don't want to think about it.
Don't FaceTime and drive.
Safe. No, I want everybody to be safe. I want you to be safe. I don't want to ever have to do this show alone. So take care of yourself.
Dude, but let's clear this up. If I die, don't fucking do the show. Don't invite don't replace me.
No,
If you
wouldn't.
want,
I
you
would
can do
just
the
end
show by yourself, but don't replace me with some hussy.
No. If something happened to you, I would I'd monetize it. No, I'm kidding. No. If something happened to you, I would probably do one episode just to like talk about like how fucked it is and how sad I am, and then be like, "This is the end of the show. Thank you guys. Goodbye." Like this is gonna be the end.
Oh,
of James' part.
that is very sad. That's
Dude,
the saddest thing I've ever heard.
I'd probably take time off. I don't think I could just like go back to doing normal YouTube if like you.
I'm not gonna die. Everything's fine.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Same for you. I mean, we can't host this show alone. This is a two-person show.
I would not replace you. I would do half the screen me and half the screen your total Tesla.
Oh my god, just like my corpse.
It's not I'm not gonna make it clear that your like mangled body is in there, but it's like it's assumed.
It's implied.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you guys next week.
We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.